It's more of a deck slash pool build pursuit of happiness right now. Pursuing Tammy's happiness with a pool and a giant deck. So I didn't bore you with deck work because putting down deck boards is pretty boring. Welcome back to Pursuit of Happiness. It's Saturday. It's a late start for me. It is 10:30. I started and found the camera, so had to spend a half an hour emptying the cart off and did a little bit of digging, so I'm already sweating a little bit. Today, what I'm gonna work on is starting the remaining portion of the deck. The deck's gonna extend all the way across the concrete patio to the other side over to that fence. So what I'm gonna do is I put this pink line out. You can probably see it. Started digging out the footers, and I'm gonna lay concrete footers in there and then concrete pylons for the post, tie into that fence post over there. So my goal for today is to get these in position and concreted so they can harden, and probably these two also in position and concreted in. If I happen to have enough time, I'm going to go to Home Depot and get some 2x4s and start planning out how to raise and level the concrete floor over here. So the floor over here, this deck is level, and the concrete of course slopes away from the house so water can run off. So I'm going to want to raise the concrete or the deck so that it's level with this section here, and it's going to butt right up against here. This will just be one continuous deck across there. So that's the goal for today. Right now I've got some holes dug out for footers. I've got some concrete bags. I've just been mixing it in a 5-gallon bucket with gardening tools. So that's what I'm working on. We'll get this laid out and continue on with the progress of the deck, and I'm sure at some point today I'm going to end up in that pool because that is way too inviting. So thanks for sticking around with me, and let's see what kind of trouble we can get into today. Now I just need to let the concrete set some before I can move on. So we'll catch up soon. All right, everyone. So it's, whoa, sun's in the wrong spot. It's almost 6 and it was a long week, so I'm exhausted. And I did get some done here. I got some of the outer framing put up, posts in the ground, letting the concrete harden. And I still have kind of finished that up and put the joists in. And then I need to start messing with covering the patio and getting that leveled out so that I can deck across the whole thing. This is gonna be part 1 of a multiple day, probably, episode. Not a whole lot filmed here. Decent amount of measuring and thinking and trying to figure out what I want to do. But kids did a little bit of pool time today, had some fun in it. I think after dinner I'm gonna do the same thing. Thanks for watching today. Stay tuned for tomorrow. I will see you then. Hey everybody, welcome back. So I got a little bit done out here, some joists put up, drying out some mats. I was gonna come back and work on this, but it started raining and it really hasn't stopped raining here. So I haven't been able to work on it much. But today, what I'm gonna work on is the over the concrete area. So my idea here is to lay this out with 2x4s, pocket screw them together into a frame, and then shim them up to make them even with the joist. You can see over here the concrete is at a pretty steep slope away from the house, which, like I had said earlier, is pretty normal. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on that, laying out the board. I start my line in the middle of the first 2x4 laid flat, and then I put lines 16 inches on center from there all the way across to a 2x4. And now I just need to put pocket holes in some of these boards that I have on the end so I can screw them into that board and start laying this out. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep up with this giant project that has been kicking my butt for a while. I'm gonna get to work on this, and let's see how this turns out. All right. All right, So I've got this general frame built, which obviously it doesn't cover the whole area, but it's a start. And then what I'll do is put in an extra section over here to attach to that. And then out here I get high enough to where I can use 2x4s on their side like normal and start frame out the rest of this with that. So this is my general beginning. I'm gonna scoot this over against the beginning of the framing over there, and we'll see where we end up at. Over here it's a little dirty, not too bad, but I should be able to just move this over, get it up against that side, and then I can start building out what I need for the rest of this area. So that's the next step. Good morning. So the last time I left off, it was Saturday, and I had worked on framing, framing over the concrete, I believe. Started raining, typical Florida. Then it rained all day Sunday. So in the evenings after work, everything over here is framed out, and I actually started putting some decking across. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 courses across there. I have not framed out totally across over that way, only because the dogs do not like walking on this. So I'm trying to get this decked at least past the doorway and then start finish framing that out, putting the joists in. It's all framed around, I just need to put the joists in. So today, got a decent start this morning. Weather's nice, as you can see, it's sunny. I'm hoping, it looks like I probably need about another 7 courses of decking to get across where the door entry is. Then I can go over to the other side and start hanging joists. So that's the plan today. It is measure, cut, attach, repeat. All right, so I didn't bore you with deck work because putting down deck boards is pretty boring, but I did get a lot done, and I ran out of deck boards. So I guess back to Home Depot again for the millionth time. Now I expected that. So I probably need about, I'll have to measure it out, calculate. I assume somewhere around 20, 25 more deck boards, but let me show you what I got done. All over there. I did not stick to my plan. I did not only get the doorway done and then put the joists over there because I knew I was gonna run out of deck boards. So I decided to just go ahead and finish what I could with the deck boards and worry about the joists maybe tomorrow. It's not supposed to rain tomorrow, as of right now anyhow. We'll see how that goes. But I did get all of this put in and all the way out there. Just a little bit of overhang on each board. Once I get them all put in, I'll take a circular saw and my guide and I will cut all of those straight. So that's where we stand right now. I did move the patio furniture out a little bit, so it's out here now instead of being over there against the pool. So that's nice to have that out. But for now, I'm gonna call it a day. Go get cleaned up. I need to go over and help my parents, so I'll probably go do that. But I'm pretty happy with as much as I got done. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, subscribe. Check out our older videos. See some of our travels. We haven't been on the road recently. A lot of work for me here with the pool and for me at work. So not a whole lot of traveling recently, but it's more of a deck/pool build pursuit of happiness right now. Pursuing Tammy's happiness with a pool and a giant deck. Also, one thing over here, I don't know if I ever showed you guys, but this right now has weeds growing, but this is going to end up having gravel in it. And the idea is we use the spigot here for the dogs' water bowls. So it'll give us a place to dump the water bowls and not, have to pour it on the deck all the time. They come out, they drink, make a mess, and it'll give us a place to pour out the slimy water that they leave behind. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Pursuit of Happiness. Make sure that you subscribe. Don't miss any updates, any excitement. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. We all appreciate it. Tell your friends, share the video. Like I said earlier, watch our old videos, and don't forget, pursue your happiness.